We're going to start this hour with the midterm election now 1 week from today, and control of Congress is on the line, with candidates now making their final push to sway voters.
Yeah, and so far, more than 23 million votes have already been cast across the country, and it's shaping up to be a tight race. A New York Times Siena College poll finds Democrats either leading or tied in key Senate races in battleground states. One of those states is Pennsylvania, where NBC's Dasha Burns is standing by with more on what's on the minds of voters there as they head to the ballot box. We're going to get to her in just a moment.
But we're going to start this hour with NBC News national political correspondent Steve Kornacki at the big board, his home away from home, to lead us all off. So we mentioned some of those key Senate races. Where do things stand right now a week out?
Yeah, let's take a big picture look at the Senate here. So 50-50 right now. Democrats control it, of course, because of Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. But there are 5. You see them in blue here. There are 5 Democratic seats that are the most vulnerable, we think. These are where Republicans are trying to make gains. Republicans have to win at least one of these to get a chance at controlling the Senate. So let's take a look. We got some new polling in the last 24 hours, New York Times Siena polling from some of these states, from 3 of these top Republican targets. Let's take a look here in Nevada. This might be the ripest target for Republicans. The Democratic incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto in a tie in this poll with her Republican challenger Adam Laxalt. Take a look at Georgia. Raphael Warnock, Democratic incumbent, leading in this poll by 3 over Herschel Walker. Keep in mind, Georgia's a runoff state. If no one hits 50% on election night, and there is a libertarian who's probably going to get a couple points here, if no one gets to 50 on election night, these two do it all over again in a December 6th runoff. Could decide who controls the Senate. We've seen that story before in Georgia. And then there's Arizona. Again, Democratic incumbent Mark Kelly. This was the best polling news Democrats got on the Senate front recently, leading in this New York Times poll by 6 over his Republican challenger Blake Masters. So a range of outcomes there. But let's say, sake of argument here, that Nevada, we showed you that tied race there. Let's say Republicans succeed in flipping Nevada. That would be a gain. And again, they just need a net gain of 1 seat. If Republicans get Nevada or any other of these states here, but if they could pick off one of these Democratic seats, it means that Democrats would have to pick off one of the seats that you see in red here. These are the most vulnerable Republican seats. And by far, all year and right now, there's been one target that's loomed above all others for Democrats, and that is Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's native state Biden carried in 2020. And it's a state where the Democrat John Fetterman has been leading in the polling pretty consistently. And here in this New York Times poll that came out yesterday, Fetterman up 5 over Oz, although this comes with an asterisk, and the asterisk is in the very fine print you can see at the bottom of your screen when this poll was conducted. Remember, these two had their first and only debate last week. It's a debate that generated a lot of conversation, could have ramifications for how people vote. 2/3 of this poll was conducted prior to that debate. So if there was fallout, if there is fallout from that debate, if it redounds to Mehmet Oz's advantage, you're not necessarily seeing that in this poll right here. But Pennsylvania, so important for Democrats from a Senate standpoint, because if they lose any of their vulnerable seats, they have got to counter it by picking off a Republican seat. And this, by far, is their best chance of doing that.
And people still talking about that debate, of course. So, Steve, we're seeing heavyweights from both parties out hitting the campaign trail. Where are they headed, and what do we expect to see?
Couple different places, but one of them is going to be Pennsylvania, where all the heavy hitters are going to collide on Saturday. Joe Biden's going to be there with Barack Obama campaigning with Fetterman. Donald Trump's going to be there with Mehmet Oz. So everyone's going to converge in Pennsylvania on Saturday. And it's interesting. Just take a look here for our most recent poll, the popularity of these major figures. Joe Biden, this is personal. This isn't the job approval. This is just what people think of him personally, positive or negative. And you see more negative than positive. Strikingly, though, Trump does worse here than Biden, significantly worse in our poll. More unpopular, more negative views than Joe Biden gets. But the difference here, and why Biden's going to Pennsylvania not by himself, but with Barack Obama, the former president, the most recent numbers on Obama, better than both Biden and Trump significantly, a favorable rating of 52, an unfavorable rating of 40. So it is really interesting. Joe Biden's going to a few places here. He's going to Pennsylvania, his native state, as we see. But on election eve, he's going to be in Maryland. That's not exactly the most competitive state politically. Instead, the guy going to all the most competitive states for Democrats, it's Barack Obama much more than Joe Biden. And I think these numbers say a lot about why that is.
All right. Steve, thanks so much for breaking it down. We appreciate it.
You got it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.